out of bib number 9. Harris, Pac-12 champion in the 800 when he ran at Colorado, and you see he's still rocking the CU Buffs headband running from lane number 9. After Harris, it's Henry Wynn, who is decided to run the 800, originally slated to run the 1500. Wynn was a breakout star running in college at Virginia, an NCAA champion after a strong high school lacrosse career, but late in his high school days decided to commit to the track. Then it's Carter Lilly coming in with a 1:47 seed time. He'll run out of lane number 7. Haroon Abda runs out of lane number 6. Abda in the midst of interesting time in his career, 28 years old. The question is he going to take off and improve that PR? What does he have in store for this season? And he has run the 15 at 9th best time in the U.S. so far this year. Next to him, it's Boris Berrien, the Olympian from Rio. Again, we already chronicled the Achilles injury last year. What's he have in store this season with 2 years to really try to build up and get back to where he wants to go for Tokyo? Then it's Charles Jacques, maybe the best race in his life to get into the Olympics in 2016. He has moved from Eugene back to his college town, Irvine, training with his college coaches, and his coaches say they think he can get back to that 143 or 144 form. Craig Engels runs out of lane number 3. 23-year-old, 3rd in the 1500 at USA Indoors, 7th at World Indoors this season. Next to him, it is Alan Ecke, and then Matthew Centrowitz rounding things out. Centrowitz did get some running mileage in March in Australia. Ran a number of 800s and 1500s in Australia in March, and he'll put some real miles on his legs here building up to the Prefontaine Classic. He'll run the 800 and turn it around with the 1500 in about an hour's time.
I think it's the timing of this meet is great for a lot of the athletes that are prepping for pre. You're already on the West Coast. You can do it. It's 8 days out, and a great way to sharpen up before these really killer races that are coming up in 8 days.
Centrowitz says his goal this season, an American record in the 1500. Trying to start with some speed here in the 800, and he's off to a good start on the inside. He and Craig Engels were giving each other a hard time on the bus today. That little inter-teammate competition brewing here, and look at Boris Berrien, very strong in the early going.
Boris Berrien had a really good indoor race where he faded over the last 200 meters, but he really showed his strength for the first 600 of that 8. So I think the time that he's had now to put in, hopefully he can carry that now over the 800 meters.
He said the Achilles injury was particularly tough for him because he considers himself more of a power sprint type of 800 runner, so it really affected his power. But said at this point he's starting to feel really comfortable, and as he said, quote, a pretty tough dude. I've taken some tough strides, and I'm confident coming into this one. And Berrien has taken over the lead. It's Jock in second. They come through the line in about 52 seconds over the opening 800. 52.31 for Berrien. Haroon Abda moved up into a good spot. 52.45. Carter Lilly, Craig Engels, Charles Jacques, and Matthew Centrowitz, your top 6 through the opening 400.
And it's important if you're, for both Boris and Brenda, they went out to the front. They got the best they could out of themselves for that first lap. If you're just starting out in the 8, you're going to be stronger than quicker. You might not have that kick, but to really press it early and get the most out of yourself, this is the way you develop for those big times later.
Abda's taken over the top spot, the 28-year-old out of Findlay, Minnesota. He's run 1:48.18 this year to finish 6th at Mount Sac, looking to improve on that number. The USA standard for this season is 1:47.50. Look at Engels closing hard, showing off that 1500 stamina as he brings it home at the end. Craig Engels at the line, inches it out, 1:47.37. That is sub 1:47.50. Hits the USA standard, and he clips Carter Lilly by 14 100ths of a second. Abda was 3rd. Strong at the end there from Craig Engels.
Just timing it out perfectly. You can see him grimacing a little bit here, but just swinging wide, holding his own, he's composed, just driving all the way in.
And he hasn't had much altitude training from what I understand, but he's coming from, they went first to Flagstaff and then Park City. So, you'll see with some of these athletes who were in the college system, didn't have the flexibility to go and do altitude camps, come out as pros, and some respond really well to it. Seems like that might be the case for Craig.
Good job, Carter.
The Nike Oregon Project, the winner. He's had a good run of